$10 million. That's how much it costs to create the new Backrooms movie, and I'm going to recreate it here in the comfort of my own home with a lot less money. Over the next few days, I will be turning my house into a DIY movie set as I attempt to recreate the most iconic shots from the Backrooms movie, including a few that I didn't even know were possible. Alright guys, so I'm basically gonna need a bunch of boxes to be able to build this miniature backroom set. I don't really have a bunch of money to spend, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the USPS store or the post office, whatever you want to call it. And I heard that you can take as many boxes as you want for free. I got like 13 boxes. So apparently this does work, but if you want to get a lot of boxes, you have to order them. But we got as many as we could. Yeah, the lady kind of got mad.
Are you taking everything from there?
Right here? No, there's still some.
You guys need a lot like that. You gotta order online on our website.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. But we still got them. The next step for us to recreate the Backrooms is for us to get the architect outfit that Clark wears in the movie.
I am a fucking architect!
I hit pretty big on the first store and got some pants and a shirt for only $4.
Are you serious, my brother?
This challenge is gonna be so easy. I did end up going to Michael's, but everything was just a little too expensive. If I was going to recreate this scene, it was going to cost a lot of money. But I did find some fabric that I can use to make the carpet. And here's some paint for the furniture, so that way the color palette is similar to the one in the Backrooms. There we go. That's more like it. I feel like I can't recreate the Backrooms without having Clark's signature outfit. So now that I got this outfit, let's order some stuff. While I was on a chaotic and very irresponsible ordering spree. I mean, seriously, who let me do this? I did remember that I own a miniature model house that I can use for this project. And what comes with a miniature model house, you might ask? Correct, miniature furniture. Alright guys, so I just brought the packages inside, and I kind of ran into a little bit of an issue when I opened them. This is one of the couches for the miniature set, and it looks pretty good. The problem is, look at the chairs that I had from the old DIY set that I was gonna use. So this is a big problem for proportion reasons, because I can't have this massive couch and this super tiny little chair in the shot. It just wouldn't look right. So I'm actually going to scrap all these super tiny pieces that I have here. And this kind of sucks, and I'm taking a step back by doing this, but I mean, I gotta do what I gotta do. Even though some of the furniture wasn't going to work, I wasn't going to let it stop me. I started working on the things I was able to, like the actual model of the Backrooms. Alright guys, so it's the next day and I couldn't wait any longer. So I went back to Michael's and got some of that super pricey furniture that I had passed on the first time. And unfortunately, I forgot to film me painting this stuff, so I'll just show some before and afters for a few things. As you can see, I painted them a very similar palette to the one in the film. This is my creation of the Backrooms. This is supposed to resemble the room where Clark sees a giant stack of furniture. You can see right here there is way too much light coming in, so I'm going to put paper on the ceiling to act as diffusion, and some black shirts in certain areas to get rid of any unwanted spill coming into the scene. Now let's start putting that furniture into the Backrooms. Alright guys, it's time for filming. My goal here is to recreate these 6 shots. Let's get started. So what I'm trying to accomplish right now is this scene,
and I'm having a little bit of an issue, so I'm gonna walk you through on how I'm gonna fix it. I have this flare right here that's being caused from the light spilling into the camera lens, and I also have this unwanted light spill in the foreground of the shot. So what I'm going to do is add a black piece of fabric to the front of the light, and it'll get rid of the unwanted foreground light and get rid of the flare at the same time. This was a pretty easy shot to get, but I made sure to get a few different variations and angles of this shot, and while I was already here, I made sure to get any other shots that made sense. And here is me putting on my best performance. Kane, my guy, you gotta hit me up for Backrooms too. Then we take our miniature model and green screen footage, merge them together, and try and convince people that it's real. And here's a quick montage of me showing you how I did it. I actually tried doing the green screen method, but it didn't come out so great. Okay, it looked like shit. So I ended up using DaVinci Resolve's AI Magic Mask tool. And even though I had to clean up a few areas, it came out better.
I want to be able to have the backrooms in the background while I'm looking through this tunnel. And my problem is the ceiling is falling in. I'm going to make a loop with tape on the ceiling and connect it to my light so that way it can pull the tension up instead of having it fall down.
My favorite thing about this shot is the use of background elements. What I'm doing is I am breaking apart this chair and cutting off the legs at a diagonal angle, so that way when I put it in the backrooms, it lays exactly how it did in the film. And I didn't have other things that I could throw in there, so I just thought a chair would be fine. I did make sure to get a couple different angles just in case I didn't like one of them. And the next thing I had to do was recreate the tunnel. And although it seemed like it would be kind of easy, it wasn't. So I put tape on both sides to hold the tension equally. I didn't have a box big enough to replicate the tunnel just like the one that Clark was looking through, so I just settled for this small box, put the wallpaper around, and put the carpet, and there you go, we have the tunnel. And now, all I have to do is get the miniature model footage and the green screen footage and merge them together, and then you end up with something like this. And here's A24's version, and here's my version. And now in 10 seconds or less, I want to show you how I did this. I added a 3D keyer to mess around with it to get rid of the green screen, added Gaussian blur to the miniature model clip, and then color graded it. And that was a quick lesson by Jake. Tips are appreciated. Now moving on.
This is the next shot we're recreating. And since I'm filming this by myself in such a small area, I'm gonna make this
A static shot.
Jake, what's a static shot, you might ask? A static shot is when the camera has no sort of movement and it's usually kept on a tripod.
This is my miniature model hallway. And here's your boy Aura farming to the max. No, but seriously, I didn't know what else to do other than stand there. Anyways, you know what time it is. First, I keyed out the green screen and played with a lot of the sliders. Next, I masked myself out. Then I added a little bit of a color grade, and boom, this is what I got.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Alright guys, let's move on. This right here is easily the hardest shot in the bunch. My idea is to get two shots and stitch them together. Here's me getting shot number 1. And here's shot number 2. Then I take shot number 1 and shot number 2 and mix them together, and this is what you get. Once that is done, I want to get a shot of me on a green screen pretending to walk through a wall. Then you get both shots and you put them together and get this. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the next one. There's really no sort of VFX for this shot, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how I lit the scene. First, I started with a Nanlite 60B, pointed it up towards my hand, and put it to 2700 Kelvin. Then I got the Falconize RX818 and pointed it towards the wall as a fill light. I thought it looked a little too bright, but here's both for comparison. So I decided to get rid of the fill light. I thought the Nanlite 60B was giving too much of a perfect spotlight look, so I put an old shirt in front of it and messed around with it so that way I can get some texture in the shot. And here is all three for comparison. This is with and without the texture. Alright, that is every single shot of the challenge. Let's take a look at every shot that we did.
If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe as it helps grow the channel, and comment down below and let me know what you want me to do next. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.